Hey guys, this is Ix with Rollout Reviews, bringing you another B-Daman Crossfire review. This time it is the Surge Strike Arena. Let's take a look at the packaging really quick. On the front here, we have a product shot of the Surge Strike Arena, featuring Strike Avian and Thunder Berga. However, it's very much worth noting that this set does not come with any B-Daman. You can see down here it says B-Daman figures sold separately. So you want to make note of that before you decide to purchase this. Surge Strike Arena down there. On this side it has Thunder Dracian. On the other side it has the contents you get inside. On the back you can see here we have the assembled arena. All of the products you can buy separately down there, the online information, and your mission. Lock 3 or more bars before your opponent. So let's take a look at everything you get inside. So this set does come with a collector's card here, however of a very different sort. We can see it has the CGI Dracian mascot on the front because this set does not come with a B-Daman. The code on the back is relatively similar to all of the other ones and doesn't really unlock anything extra, so nothing special there. It does come with a sticker sheet, however they're very bright and vibrant and I really don't like the style of them. Not a huge fan of these, but you can apply these if you would like. The set does come with 6 of this size of wall. It's a very different size from what we've seen in the Break Bomber battle set. Here are the smaller walls from that set, and the larger walls, just so you can see how they compare. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a nice size, and it's great for customizing exactly how long and wide you want your playing field to be. You get 4 of the standard gray connector pieces, and of course the pieces to put together the Surge Strike itself. You get this piece that holds it all together here and connects it to the walls. Very minimal details there. And you have 5 of these bar pieces. Very bland without stickers, however there are some details like these little arrows on either side. Some ridged detail on the side here, sort of making it harder to push it along. It has some cutouts here to make sort of the locking mechanism work, and of course the pads on either side to shoot at. So let's put the whole thing together and check out how it works. Now, Surge Strike is the Hasbro adaptation of the Power Push event from the Crossfight B-Daman ES anime. Now, for whatever reason, Takara Tomy never released a Power Push set. There was listings for it, but it never came through. Now, Hasbro took it into their own hands and brought it over here with B-Daman Crossfire. However, I don't know if this is actually based off of the Japanese prototype, or if this is a Hasbro creation. But judging by the design and the functionality of this piece, I can get an idea for why it was never released by Takara Tomy. Anyway, this set does not come with end wall pieces. This was sort of disappointing to some people. To finish off the stadium, you're going to need the small wall pieces exclusive to the Break Bomber battlefield at this point. It's the same width as the Surge Strike unit itself, and you'll also need some connector bits to finish it off. However, if you already have the Break Bomber set, I much more recommend pulling this whole unit out and putting it in that arena. It works a lot better, and it's much longer. You have a much bigger playing field. So if you already have Break Bomber, do that. Now, the set does come with 3 beta marbles for either side, 3 in green and 3 in red, and I think that's a perfect amount. And we'll get to why in just a little bit, but the first thing you're going to notice when you put this set together is just how flimsy and finicky this section is. These little bar pieces aren't really held in place very well. They wobble around and just aren't stable, unfortunately. That becomes more evident when you start pushing them along, because the further you push them, the more wobbly they get. They'll run into each other, and that's just no good. So that's really not looking great for the set as a whole right now. The idea behind it is that it has these little cutouts here, and when you push this along, at a certain point, those will fall into place, locking this bar. Once you've locked 3 bars, you win. And in theory, you cannot push them back. In theory. So let's do a quick test here. Well, let's do a couple tests with a few different beat-em-on. Let's reset this, and we'll start off with Thunderberga, a power type. This event is supposed to be a power type event. However, obviously, Thunderberga is not the most powerful, but he'll do just fine. So, let's load up our beat-em-on here. And as you can see, we're pushing it along. It seems to work just fine. However, at a certain point, it becomes very hard to push it all the way for some reason. There we go. We locked 1, and it seems to be working very well so far. As you can see, at a certain point, you just can't get them to lock very well. But you might be noticing a problem, and that's to retrieve my beat-a-marbles, I have to come over here and get my hands involved in the process, tampering with the mechanism. The mechanism itself is just, it's too in the way. And when a marble gets caught, like behind here, and you want to retrieve it, you end up tampering with it, unlocking walls, moving them around, accidentally pushing them in or out. It's very indefinite, and that's a big problem. So let's do another test here with a precision type. We'll use Strike Avian, because, well, he's the other beat-em-on used on the packaging. Again, it seems to be working pretty well. Even though Thunderberg is a power type and Strike Avian's a precision type, they both perform decently. It would seem that even though this is a power type event, power really isn't that big of an issue because of how loosely these are in place. They can be easily pushed along without a problem, and that says something. Now, rapid fire types. Useless without magazines, you would think. So let's test a beat-em-on here using a magazine and just see how hectic it gets. So I'm attaching the System magazine to Lightning device. This is a Takara Tomy product. I just like the System magazine a lot. Very much recommend that. But let's load this up and just fire on all cylinders, go in rapid fire. As you can see, very hectic, and when you have this many marbles in the stadium, they get caught behind things. And when you go and retrieve them, again, you tamper with stuff. There's just too much in the way to be using this many marbles. So I think that in this particular event, magazines should not be allowed at all. That's why I think that 3 marbles is the perfect amount for this set, and you should be limited to just using those 3. Now there is an even bigger problem with this set, and it's very concerning because this is supposed to be a power type event. However, with too much power, it becomes borderline very unfair. And you would think it would be unfair because power types would just immediately lock all of them with 1 shot apiece. But that's really not the reason it's unfair. I'll explain. So here is Thunderdracian. Again, I'm using the magazine just to prove a point here. But let's load it up and fire a couple test shots. As you can see, it works very well, but it still doesn't lock them in 1 shot. So that should be a good thing. However, problems start happening once they are locked. Because with enough power and enough consistent fire, you can easily unlock what has already been locked. And that goes for both sides, because as you can see here, this was locked this way, and with enough shots, I unlocked it. However, again, it works the other way too. This is locked on my opponent's side, but if I shoot at it enough, it'll become unlocked. As you just saw there, it kind of lifted up and then can be pushed from the other side. That's a very, very big problem, because you can undo what has already been done. When these are locked in place, you should not be able to tamper with them after that. It breaks the whole game. It breaks the whole idea and the whole rule set of the game itself, and is very, very unfair when you can unlock them. And I think that's the biggest problem. Yes, there is the problem with marbles getting stuck all about. There's the problem with going to retrieve them and tampering with the set. But the biggest problem is the fact that it is fully possible to unlock the bars, which is kind of stupid. So, all in all, I can't really recommend this set. It has too many problems, it's too fiddly, and for your money, you can get much better sets. Push out the extra dollars and get the Break Bomber set. That, bottom line, is the only thing you should be getting, if nothing else. Fantastic set, much better than this, and even the Vertigo Spin Arena, which is the exact same price point, is just much more fun. Again, this just has too many problems to be all that fun. The games are too quick, and when you look at it, are very unfair. So, that is about it, guys, and this is IXRoll@IX, signing off.